Picture this. You're scrolling through Netflix and suddenly you stop. There's something about that character on the screen. The rebellious anti-hero, the wise mentor, the tragic lover. You can't look away. But here's what's wild. That same character type appears in every culture, every era, from ancient Greek myths to modern Marvel movies. Ever wonder why? Why do the same personality types keep showing up throughout human history? Why do you instantly connect with certain characters while others leave you cold? And most importantly, why do you make the decisions you make, love who you love, and fear what you fear? Today, we're diving deep into Carl Jung's revolutionary discovery, the 12 archetypes that live inside your unconscious mind and control more of your life than you realize. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand which archetype drives your deepest motivations, but you'll also learn how to consciously access all 12 to become the most complete version of yourself. This isn't just psychology theory. This is practical wisdom that will change how you see yourself, your relationships, and your place in the world. So buckle up, because we're about to take a journey into the deepest parts of your psyche. Who was Carl Jung, and why should you care? Before we dive into the archetypes, let's talk about the genius who discovered them. Carl Jung wasn't just any psychologist. He was Freud's star pupil who eventually broke away to develop his own revolutionary theories about the human mind. While Freud focused on individual experiences and traumas, Jung noticed something bigger: patterns that appeared across all cultures, all times, all people. He called this the collective unconscious, basically a shared psychological inheritance that all humans carry. Think about it. Why do hero stories from completely isolated cultures look so similar? Why does the wise old mentor appear in Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, and ancient Mesopotamian texts? Why do we all understand what a mother figure or a trickster represents, even if we've never met one? Jung's answer? These patterns, or archetypes, are hardwired into human psychology. They're like psychological DNA, inherited blueprints that shape how we see the world, what we desire, This is Tom Hanks in almost every role, the regular guy you can relate to. It's Jimmy Stewart in It's a Wonderful Life, or any character who represents the common person facing extraordinary circumstances. IKEA masters the everyman archetype with furniture for everyday people living everyday lives. Their marketing says, you don't need to be rich or special, you deserve good design too. Everyman types are the glue that holds communities together. They remember everyone's birthday, they mediate conflicts, and they make sure no one feels excluded. Their challenge is learning to value their own unique contributions instead of always blending in. The hero. The hero is driven to prove their worth through courageous action. They want to make a difference, to be remembered, to leave the world better than they found it. Their greatest fear is weakness and cowardice. Every superhero embodies this archetype, but so do real-world heroes like Malala Yousafzai or anyone who stands up for what's right despite personal risk. The hero doesn't have to wear a cape, they just have to act when others won't. Nike's Just Do It speaks directly to the hero archetype. They're not selling shoes, they're selling the identity of someone who pushes through barriers and achieves greatness. If you're hero dominant, you might exhaust yourself always fighting battles. Your lesson is learning that sometimes the most heroic thing you can do is rest, delegate, or ask for help. The caregiver. The caregiver finds meaning through helping and protecting others. They have an almost compulsive need to serve, and their worst fear is selfishness or ingratitude from those they help. Think of any devoted mother character, or Samwise Gamgee in Lord of the Rings, loyal, selfless, and always putting others first. In real life, these are nurses, teachers, social workers, or anyone who finds purpose in service. Johnson & Johnson built their brand on caregiver values with a family company at work for your family. They position themselves as the company that cares for you the way a loving parent would. Caregivers struggle with martyrdom and burnout. Their growth comes from learning that taking care of them, the creator. The creator needs to build something meaningful and lasting. They're driven by imagination and the desire to bring something new into the world. Their fear is having a mediocre vision or poor execution. Steve Jobs embodied this archetype, but so does any artist, writer, inventor, or entrepreneur driven by the need to create. Think of any character whose primary motivation is to build, design, or express something unique. Lego built their brand on creator values with the joy of building. Adobe sells creative tools by promising to unlock your inner artist. They're selling the identity of someone who makes things. Creators can become perfectionists or never finish projects. Their growth involves learning that done is better than perfect, and that creation is a process, not just an outcome. The jester. The jester wants to live in the moment and enjoy life. They use humor to bring joy and help others see the absurdity and beauty of existence. Their fear is being boring or taking life too seriously. Robin Williams in most of his roles, or characters like Deadpool who break the fourth wall. In real life, jesters are comedians, entertainers, or anyone who can find humor in dark situations. Old Spice revolutionized their brand with absurd, humorous ads that embraced the jester archetype. They stopped trying to be serious and started being entertaining. Jesters can use humor to avoid real intimacy or responsibility. Their lesson is learning when to be serious and how to use their gift of joy to heal, not just entertain. The sage. The sage seeks truth and wisdom above all else. They want to understand how the world works and share that knowledge with others. Their fear is being deceived, ignorant, or wrong. Gandalf, Dumbledore, or Yoda, the wise mentor who guides the hero. In real life, sages are researchers, philosophers, teachers, or anyone driven primarily by the pursuit. Here's where Jung's theory gets really powerful. You're not just one archetype, you contain all 12. The goal isn't to pick your favorite and stick with it. It's to develop what Jung called the self through a process called individuation. Think of archetypes like tools in a toolbox. A carpenter doesn't use only a hammer for every job. Sometimes you need a screwdriver, sometimes a saw, sometimes a measuring tape. Life situations call for different archetypal responses. Facing a challenge? Activate your hero. Building relationships? Channel your lover or caregiver. Need creativity? Access your creator. Feeling stuck? Let your explorer find new paths. Dealing with difficult people? Sometimes you need your rebel, sometimes your sage. The key is conscious choice. Most people are unconsciously dominated by one or two archetypes because of their personality, upbringing, or life experiences. They keep using the same tools over and over, even when those tools aren't right for the situation. But when you understand all 12 archetypes, you can consciously choose which one to embody in any given moment. You become psychologically flexible, able to adapt your personality to what the situation requires. This is what Jung meant by individuation, becoming a complete, integrated individual who has access to the full range of human potential. It's not about being perfect, it's about being whole. But here's something most people don't talk about. We don't just have favorite archetypes, we also have rejected ones. Jung called these our shadow archetypes, the ones we judge, fear, or refuse to acknowledge in ourselves. Maybe you pride yourself on being the caregiver, but judge people who embody the rebel. Maybe you love your explorer nature, but have no respect for the everyman who just wants to fit in. Maybe you admire heroes, but can't stand jesters who don't take things seriously. Here's the thing. Whatever archetype you judge most harshly in others is probably a rejected part of yourself, and that rejection is keeping you incomplete. The person who judges rebels probably pay attention to which archetypes feel natural and which feel foreign. The foreign ones are your growth edges, the parts of yourself you haven't fully developed. Understanding archetypes isn't just personally useful, it's practically powerful in every area of life. In relationships, you can understand why you're attracted to certain people and why others drive you crazy. Often, we're attracted to our complementary archetypes and annoyed by our similar ones. The hero is drawn to the caregiver who supports their mission, but frustrated by other heroes competing for glory. In career, you can align your work with your dominant archetypes. Heroes thrive in competitive environments. Caregivers excel in service industries. Creators need autonomy and creative freedom. Rulers want leadership opportunities. In parenting, you can recognize which archetypes your children naturally embody and support their development instead of forcing them into your preferred archetype. The rebel child needs different guidance than the innocent child. In marketing and business, understanding archetypes helps you communicate more effectively. You can speak to your audience's archetypal desires and fears. You can position your brand to embody a specific archetype and attract people who resonate with those values. Even in personal development, archetypes give you a roadmap for growth. Instead of vague goals like be more confident, you can specifically develop your hero archetype. Instead of be more creative, you can strengthen your creator energy. Here's what I want you to remember from this deep dive. You are not limited to being one type of person. You contain multitudes. Every hero story, every love song, every rebellion, every moment of wisdom that has ever moved you, that's because those archetypal energies live within you. Society often tries to put us in boxes. You're the responsible one, you're the creative one, you're the rebel. But Jung's gift to humanity was showing us that we don't have to choose. We can be responsible and creative and rebellious, depending on what the moment requires. The most fulfilled people are those who have access to their full archetypal range. They can be heroes when courage is needed, caregivers when nurturing is required, rebels when change is necessary, and sages when wisdom is called for.